All right, guys, just about to get started. Struggling with digesting plants as a vegan or in general? Do you constantly get gassy, bloated, and uncomfortable after plant-based meals? Do you have IBS and can't tolerate any plant fibers at all and you're afraid you're not getting enough nutrition? In this week's video in my Wellness Wednesday Gut series, I'll be diving into all of this and more, and how you can make plants work for you so you can still eat them and enjoy them without discomfort. Hi, I'm Alessia, the gut coach, certified holistic nutritionist and digestive wellness coach at viasanawellness.com. I help busy women who struggle with IBS, constipation, and other digestion-related tummy troubles by teaching them how to cleanse, eat, and move so they can stop being in and out of doctors' offices, fearing food and feeling anxious every time they leave the house. And I do this all without needing endless supplements or being on a restrictive diet for life. Okay guys, sorry about that weird intro. I was just sharing, to my pages. Guys, I'm super excited for this week's Wellness Wednesday series because I will be sharing a topic that I think many people struggle with. Those that don't have IBS, those that have IBS and digestive issues, and anyone who is interested in a plant-based diet or wanting to be vegan, or they are on a vegan diet as well. So coming from experience, being on a vegan diet for 3 years, I feel I have the authority to share a bit about what I have experienced on myself, but also in my clients and just in general when I speak to people, and of course my own experience. In the first part of today's series, I will share with you why I stopped being able to digest plants and why I believe plants are very difficult to digest for human beings as a whole, but especially those with digestive problems, and my experience coming off the vegan diet. And I will also share with you some tips on why some vegetables cause a lot of gas for many people, especially raw, and how you can go about still including some plant foods into your diet but making them more digestible. Plants are difficult to digest. The only creatures that can do it very well are microbes. They have incredible abilities to digest starch and fiber. They release vitamins and turn the plant matter into a form that other creatures can benefit from. And this is what Mother Nature used to help herbivorous or herbivores, such as a cow, to digest plants and extract nutrients from them. Now, when I was vegan, I was deeply rooted in my ideologies. I couldn't see the other side of the coin. I only believed what supported my belief that we shouldn't eat animals because we are not designed to process animal flesh. Instead, we must eat plants. Of course, I had the ethical stance as well, but I also believed that there was no logic to have a so-called middleman. We should just go straight to the source for our nutrients, aka plants. Why filter nutrients through another animal? So I continued to believe this until I started working with many people who have IBS and digestive issues. And then my own digestion started to suffer in the 3rd year of being vegan, which was last year. And I knew I had to dig deeper and explore this idea. What I discovered was this. Humans are not equipped with the same digestive system as cows and other large herbivorous animals. We don't have what is called a rumen, which is part of the very large and compartmentalized digestive system of a cow, which is not only incredibly complex, but is also filled with thousands of these microbes that break down the plant matter that the cow eats. Now, the rumen is a very busy place where the microbes are working on the plant matter. the grass, for example, that the cow eats for a while, and then they send it back into the mouth of the cow for further chewing, and then back down again to be broken down further. The cow can actually chew the same plant matter in one sitting up to 200 times and send it back and forth between the mouth and the rumen. It's absolutely incredible. Okay, so you're probably wondering, where am I going with this? Now, I will explain how this all ties in with today's topic. Humans have very different digestive systems. Unlike many vegans saying that we are herbivores, we are absolutely not. We are omnivores, and I used to believe that too. Designed to process both plant and animal foods to extract nutrients for our bodies. Our digestive system does not have many stomachs, number one. Number two, we don't have a rumen filled with microbes that are pre-digesting starch and fiber so we can extract the nutrients that we need. Plants also have natural anti-nutrients and chemicals in them that fight against predators. These inhibit the absorption of certain minerals such as zinc, calcium, iron, fat-soluble vitamins, and other nutrients that we need. I will actually be doing a separate series on plant anti-nutrients because it needs a whole video in itself. So moving on, our stomach is designed to produce acid and pepsin. And these acids are specifically for breaking down meat, fish, eggs, animal foods. So in effect, our stomach is actually perfectly designed to digest animal foods. Plants, however, do not digest in the stomach very well, so they have to be sent to the intestines, where pancreatic enzymes and bile are added to the mix to break the plant matter down. However, even there, they don't actually digest very well. We can only break down some cooked starch and absorb some juices, sugars, vitamins, but the bulk of the matter is that the fiber remains indigestible and is then sent to the bowels. The bowels contain some gut flora, depending on how healthy your gut microbiome is, and further breaks down the starch. Now you're probably wondering, okay, Alessia, get to the point. The point is that the difference between herbivorous animals and us is that their rumen is at the beginning of the gut, while our so-called rumen, which is the bowel, is at the end. In a cow, the plant matter is digested exceptionally well in the rumen before it moves down into the part of the gut where nutrients are absorbed. In humans, the bulk of our food is absorbed higher up in the intestines, where plants, as I mentioned previously, cannot be digested. So by the time all the plants we eat reach the bowels, we still haven't been able to extract what we need. And then it's too late because they are now in the bowels and remain indigestible. Get me? So animal foods are digested very well in the stomach due to our stomach acids, and key nutrients are extracted, especially fat-soluble vitamins such as vitamin A, K2, and vitamin D. And then we absorb what we need and expel what we don't. Most plants, if not broken down properly, end up fermenting in the stomach and cause unnecessary gas, bloating, and constant discomfort, which I'm sure many of you have experienced, especially if you have IBS. So after having thrived on a plant-based diet for 2 years, in my third year, which was last year, I started to actually develop digestive issues again. Instead of chronic constipation, I had chronic diarrhea. Having healed my chronic IBS-C with plants, taking my supplements, and eating a whole food plant-based diet the right way, I just couldn't understand why I was having all these deficiencies, chronic loose bowels, and constant lethargy. I was always tired. The reason was I wasn't absorbing the nutrients. I wasn't digesting plants at all. So what am I doing now? Well, I removed all grains, all starch, and all legumes, basically all hard to digest plant fibers, and instead I eat nutritious animal foods that my stomach can absorb and break down into necessary nutrients, and a little bit of above ground veggies that are easier to digest, and I prep them very well. And I've been thriving. So that is why I have introduced animal foods into my diet again, because my health was slowly deteriorating and I couldn't ignore it any longer. Does this mean I believe we shouldn't eat plants at all? No, absolutely not. Remember, we are omnivores. We can thrive on both plants and animal foods, both of them. But I believe plants are incredibly effective cleansers. They clean out the bowels and are catabolic, which means they are great for breaking down disease in the body, expelling toxins and cleansing the body. But then we need animal foods to build up what we've broken down, because animal foods are building foods. They provide us with necessary key nutrients, important fat-soluble vitamins that are absolutely crucial and vital to human health, especially mental health and hormonal health in women. Men too, but especially in women. They contain complete chains of amino acids that are highly absorbable rather than the broken chains of plant proteins. So they form the building blocks of our cells. We need them. In other words, can you survive on plants? Yes, of course you can. Can you thrive on a purely whole food plant-based vegan diet? Possibly. It depends on many variables, and one of the biggest ones is, do you have gut problems? If you do, you will likely run into trouble at some point in your vegan journey, like I did, and like many of my clients do. So now I will share with you about why some vegetables, and particularly the raw kinds, cause gas and how you can fix it so you can still give your body the benefits of certain vegetables without the negative side effects of gas and fermentation. And if you've got any questions, please drop them in the comments below. I'd love to answer them for you. So raw food has so many benefits. It's rich in enzymes, all the vitamins remain intact, and many raw foodists actually believe that it is better for digestion than cooked foods, until it's not. You see, there are just some vegetables that are difficult to digest raw, particularly vegetables in the cruciferous families, such as cabbage, kale, broccoli, cauliflower, Brussels sprouts. The reason these vegetables are difficult to process and often cause gas is because actually they contain high levels of sulfur and high levels of fiber. This is part of the reason that cruciferous vegetables are actually really good for you and nourishing. The sulfur actually fights back against harmful free radicals, and they have powerful detoxifying effect. Remember, cleansing. So while the enzymes, vitamins, and antioxidants in vegetables are extremely beneficial, they are absolutely useless if your body can't process them, as we've spoken. In the beginning of your digestive journey, when you're working on rebuilding your gut flora and strengthening the intestinal lining of your stomach, raw vegetables aren't the best thing to consume. Too often, your body ends up spending much more energy digesting these foods and rather than receiving them. So as you work on as you work on strengthening your digestive system, take it easy with the raw veggies. So I'm going to share with you a few ways that you can get the benefits of cruciferous veggies without the gas and bloating. Number one, ferment your veggies to unlock their nutrients. You can ferment them by making them yourself, or you can buy fermented veggies. Juice them. They help to extract the key vitamins and minerals, separate the fiber, making sure that you only juice greens and not starchy veggies like carrots and fruits, as they contain higher amounts of fructose. So juicing is pretty good. Lightly steaming, sauteing, or roasting your veggies with a little bit of coconut oil or ghee on top helps for better nutrient absorption, especially for those fat-soluble vitamins. Blending them into a smoothie helps to pre-digest the fiber. One tip that I give you is not to have a smoothie with lots of different ingredients, lots of different veggies, fats, proteins, because then it will be a lot harder for your digestion to break that down. Chewing your veggies thoroughly, at least 20 times before swallowing. I know chewing seems like really tedious, but it really is very important. And then finally, taking digestive enzymes. They help with bloating, gas, constipation, breaking down those foods. You can really find some good ones in your local health food store. And also improving stomach acid is a big one. I didn't want to forget that one. If you're on a plant-based diet and you find yourself not being able to digest many foods, your stomach acid production may actually be quite low. So you can try adding in HCl supplements, which is basically hydrochloric acid, or eating animal foods to boost your acid production so you can break food down. So over time, as you build up your microbiome and repair the lining of the intestines, it will be much easier to process vegetables and plant matter. But earlier on, when you're not really equipped and you've got a really weak digestive system and maybe you're struggling on a plant-based diet, you might need to reevaluate and find other ways that you can thrive. Or you will run into deficiencies at some point in your journey. And let's face it, you don't want to be living on supplements and in discomfort for the rest of your journey. So it's important. So if going vegan is purely an ethical choice and you don't care about your health, that's a different story altogether. But if you are going plant-based entirely for health reasons, make sure to get the full picture and understand the human body and how it works, especially the digestive system. And that is my specialty, so if you stick around, you will learn more. So be sure to follow my page. Remember, these things take time. So be patient with yourself and don't let the process stop you from enjoying these health promoting veggies and thriving on both plants and animal foods, because remember, we are omnivores and we thrive on both. One book I really highly recommend is The Vegetarianism Explained by Dr. Natasha Campbell McBride. It really is such an eye-opening book. Absolutely incredible. If you're seriously interested though in optimizing your gut microbiome to beat IBS for good, restoring your digestion and boosting your health and energy by rebuilding your gut, but you're not sure how to take the next step, I invite you to a free tummy transformation call with me. We can look at what you're currently doing now, what works and what's not working, and form a plan of action to get your gut health back on track. You can book in the link that I'm going to post in the comments section after the video. And in this free consultation, we will also discuss specific strategies that will help rebuild your intestinal flora, optimize your gut microbiome so you can get rid of IBS for good, bloating, gas, and constipation and all those tummy troubles, as well as jumpstart your body to lose weight once and for all. So no more dieting and no more confusion about what to eat. As always, all disease begins in the gut, and you are not what you eat, but you are what you absorb. So optimizing your gut health is truly the key to long-lasting health. Guys, it's been an absolute pleasure this week. I hope you enjoyed this week's Wellness Wednesday episode. And if you have any ideas for topics, please let me know in the comment section below. And I will look forward to seeing you in next week's episode. Chat soon. Bye.